Hello Taurus, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self to ultimately create the life that you desire and deserve. As I do in all of my readings, I pulled the overall energy and clarified those messages, as well as the overall theme for the reading, which we'll jump into in just a second, but I still have the tarot deck we'll be diving into, the clarification deck, and the advice deck that I will be using to close out the reading in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So please do remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. All right, Taurus, let's jump on in. In your recent past, you have the Death in reverse with mystery. It's the dark side of the moon card. I feel as if your recent past was all about kind of just being either it was your choice or it was not your choice, but having to step into the unknown, into kind of feeling as if the future was a bit of a mystery. Now, the Death in reverse is maybe certain changes that happened that were needing to happen and probably were a long time coming, but maybe you weren't fully ready to make those changes, and that's okay. We often make changes, break cycles, leave situations when we're ready and when we need to. So I'm not saying you took too long or you did anything wrong, but I do definitely feel as if certain changes kind of took place in your life that led to having to really step into the unknown. Now, in your current energy, you have take a risk with the Seven of Wands. Right now is a time to trust yourself. The overall theme for the reading is courage. So the Seven of Wands paired with courage, paired with take a risk. This is really a time for stepping fully into your power and trusting your abilities, trusting your deservingness, and just kind of trusting that, oftentimes when we're in the unknown, it can really be a blessing because it's almost as if the universe is giving us a bit of a blank slate. It's saying, obviously these situations weren't working out and this didn't lead you to where you ultimately desired and deserve, but so what can you do now to create that life? So it almost feels as if you're being given, a clean slate is the best word that kind of comes to mind, but like a clean slate to really build or rebuild your life in the way that you really ultimately deserve. Now, in your immediate future, you have changes with the Six of Wands. As you step into this energy that you're currently in and continue to show up in it, this creates very positive changes in your life. With the Six of Wands here, this is an energy of success, kind of clarifying this changes card, like changes that you've been hoping for, that you've been waiting for, that you've been wanting, but maybe weren't really taking the steps toward because of fear or doubt or insecurity, and all of those things are natural and normal and necessary on the path to creating the life that we deserve and desire. But I feel as if it just feels like your life is being given this opportunity to change in really, really wonderful ways. And you're being asked to really embrace that with this mindset that good things can happen with where you're at right now. Now, one thing about the unknown is that it is freaking scary. There's so much that is out of your control, obviously so much you can't predict, which is, again, a very good thing sometimes because it allows you to break out of old habits and old cycles and old situations that weren't really serving you and figure out what you want with this new kind of phase of your life that you're stepping into. But that's just the overall energy, so let's jump into the story here. Let's start, Taurus, by looking at your recent past mystery with the Death in reverse. The Death in reverse can be like resisting change in a way, resisting endings to cycles, relationships, situations that might need to end. That might be what's best for you, but it's hard. Change is so hard. So don't put pressure on yourself to make it happen all at once. Or if you feel like you stayed in a situation longer than you should, that's okay. All right, recent past for Taurus. Ooh, okay. Ten of Swords in reverse. This is like acceptance. Acceptance of things that you weren't wanting to admit. And then there's the Hangman here. It's almost as if there were certain things you weren't wanting to face change it. And that's what I feel about these changes, is it's like, maybe with where you're at now, or as you progress, you'll be able to look back and say, okay, yeah, that had to happen. That had to end. That situation had to go down like that. These changes had to take place. I obviously didn't want them to. I never intended on things getting to this point, but it kind of feels like the acceptance of things that you didn't want to admit to yourself, maybe for a really long time, which is okay. There have been so many situations in my life and where I've been in places where I knew I didn't belong, or in relationships that I knew that it didn't serve me, but you kind of have to, sometimes you got to try, right? Sometimes you got to stay and you got to try to make it work, even though you know deep down that it probably isn't going to, before you really, take the action to change. Sometimes we do really have to realize that doing the same thing over and over again, that, approaching our life in the same way, same habits, same situations, that those things aren't going to lead to a different outcome. And that really is something that we have to learn through the process of a repeating cycle. And so I feel like that's what this is very much about, is kind of breaking a cycle, stepping into a new beginning here on the other side of the cycle. Now, one of the things about breaking cycles that isn't talked about a lot is your brain, your nervous system, your ego is actually very much more comfortable in situations that you're used to, in cycles that are predictable for it, because your ego loves control. It loves to know what it can predict and what it can survive. And so it actually prefers kind of the pain and the lack that you're used to. So sometimes, we don't realize that we're really kind of fighting against our own instinct to stay in places that we don't really belong, because the other side of it is so unpredictable and so scary that it's hard to, fully embrace. But I feel like that's what this energy is very much about with where you're currently at, because this Hangman is an energy of really letting go of your control here. So I don't know, I feel like this acceptance of changes that needed to happen, willingness to let go, it's good. I feel like it was probably scary for some of you. This might have not been your choice, okay? So if that was the case and certain changes took place in your life, certain endings happened, it probably, based on what this reading is saying, and this might not be for everybody, but it feels as if these changes were actually very much in alignment with your highest good. Maybe you don't know how yet, but I feel as if as we move forward through this reading, or in general, as you move forward through your life, it'll start to make more sense. But all right, recent past for Taurus. Yeah, okay, so this feels like a decision that you had to make in the end, a decision that was best for you, one that brought on a lot of anxiety. Now, for some of you, this decision might not have been made yet. It's just that this energy of needing to make a decision maybe started coming out in your recent past. Whether or not you made it is totally going to depend on where you're at in your own personal journey, but I feel as if there is a lot of anxiety associated with this energy of your past here. How am I going to be okay? Am I ever going to have anything better than this? Will things ever be as good as they could have been if this would have worked out? Am I going to end up, in a place where I'm unsafe? Am I going to have the money that I need? Am I going to have the love that I desire? And all of those questions that start to come up. Now, in this deck, it's my Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot deck. This is actually my favorite depiction of the Nine of Swords, because as you can see, she's stressing, right? But if you look at the things that she's stressing about, the things that are scaring her, they're ghosts. They're not real. They're not truly there. It's kind of all in her head, right? Now, that is not to say that the things that you are worried about are not valid, okay? But most of the things that we worry about never happen. And most of the things that we worry about is really us just trying to gain control of our life by predicting every single worst case scenario that could potentially happen. So, a lot of anxiety here in your recent past, which makes a lot of sense because I do feel you were very much in the unknown. Maybe, anxiety about a decision that you were needing to make, about because the Knight of Wands this is very much a leap of faith energy, and this kind of aligns with your current energy here. So, one of the things that about a leap of faith is that it's not you take a leap of faith and everything just falls into place. That's not how leaps of faith work. It's you take a leap of faith and then you continue to take that leap of faith every single day. You continue to show up for it. You continue to have faith. You continue to keep taking steps in that direction. So sometimes a lot of people will say, oh, well, I made this decision to leave this relationship and nothing good ever came from it, but they've only given it 6 months. Things don't really unfold in the way that we think that they ever will, but they are always unfolding in divine timing. So that's something that I feel some of you need to hear. But okay, more for Taurus's recent past. King of Swords in reverse coupled with the King of Wands in reverse. Oh, Taurus, this is so much doubt. Doubt in yourself, doubt in your capabilities, doubt in your intelligence, doubt in your deservingness and your lovableness. And a lot of that doubt is what I feel kept you stuck in cycles, situations, whatever resonates with you, that weren't really aligning with your highest good, with what it is you're ultimately deserving of here. So I do definitely feel as if, sometimes, and I kind of talked about this already, we have to stay in situations to realize that they're not going to work out, or realize that we need to change. But we also get to this point where we realize that we deserve better. And you realize, wait, I'm capable of more than this. I'm deserving of more than this. My value is more than this. And I feel as if those things maybe started creeping into your mind, which is where you were, at this place where you were like, oh, this doesn't align with my value. This doesn't align with my capabilities. Even though you've been doubting them for so long, I feel like you're starting to realize that you have been, which is a really good thing. Bringing it into your awareness is the first step to overcoming it. So, something that I think people have wrong about confidence and courage and, just trust and faith and all of that is not the absence of doubt. It's not this idea that you are just so certain that everything is going to work out and that you're great and that you're never going to make a mistake. That's not at all where confidence comes from. Confidence comes from this inner belief that you are deserving and capable of more than you're experiencing, and showing up for that every single day. And when you're able to do that, you start to create a different experience for yourself, because you're no longer looking for situations in your life to prove to you that you're good enough, or to prove to you that you're valuable, or to prove to you that you're lovable. You are coming from this place of saying, I know that I'm good enough, I know that I'm valuable, and I know that I'm lovable, and I'm only going to invest in situations that make me feel that way, instead of investing in things out of hopes that it makes me feel that way, which drastically changes your life, because you start investing in things that align with your value, instead of things that are, kind of aligning with the lack of value that you see in yourself. So, a long-winded way of saying that I feel as if a lot of this self-doubt kind of started creeping up to the surface in your recent past, but I also feel as if that was very divinely guided, because again, we have to face the doubt to overcome it. It's not, confidence, faith, it's not the absence of doubt. It is making sure that your faith and your confidence is stronger than your doubt. And that's kind of what I feel like you're in the process of doing right now. Now, in your current energy, you have take a risk with the 7 of Wands. Let's see what Taurus is dealing with in their current energy. My hair will not stay out of my face today. So I apologize for messing with it so much. Current energy for Taurus. I've been wearing it up in my reading so much recently. So I'm not used to having longer hair, and now it's getting in my face so much. All right, current energy for Taurus. What does Taurus need to know about their current energy? All right. Ooh, Devil. Ace of Swords in reverse, 3 of Wands in reverse. When you're outside of your comfort zone, when you're trying to create a new life, leave something behind that isn't serving you, when you're in a place where you're very much in the unknown, your fear is going to run rampant in your mind. And it kind of, I feel like that's what this devil is talking about. It appears in the form of in movies or cartoons, like you'd see the angel devil on the shoulder. The way that I feel like it's being presented in this reading is like it's your faith versus your fear. And it's this energy saying, go for it, you got this, you deserve so much more, leave behind these things that don't serve you, start that business, put yourself out there. And it's the devil here saying, nah, you should stay where you're at because you probably won't ever get anything better than this. This is as good as it'll ever get for you, and you'll probably fail if you do that, and you have more to lose than you do to gain. And I feel like that's kind of what you're dealing with right now, is like the angel versus the devil here. And it's important that you are able to kind of be aware, because we have to learn not to attach our belief to every single thought and emotion that we have, because if we do that, we're going to go crazy, because you're going to constantly be pulled in so many different directions. You're going to say, oh, I believe in myself, oh wait, no I don't, and this person said I was good enough, but this person said that I sucked, and it's going to take you back and forth. So it's learning to ground yourself in your own personal truths that say, I am deserving, I am capable, the universe has my back, whatever it is that kind of helps you get through, so that the noise of the angel versus the devil and the faith and the fear, so that it doesn't totally take over your mind, because that's where you get to intentionally choose what you do next. So right now, I feel like that devil on your shoulder is loud. I feel like it's really, really loud. And sometimes when that fear is so loud, we in that moment cannot access our intuition. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. That doesn't mean you've lost it. That doesn't mean you don't still have it. What it means is that you are currently experiencing your fear to an extent that doesn't allow you to access your like logical, grounded intuition. So right now is a time, and I said this already, to trust yourself, not your fear. To ground yourself in this idea that you are deserving and capable of what it is that you desire, and make sure that you are showing up for the life that you wish to create, instead of resisting the changes that you're used, like instead of staying in places that you're used to or going backwards to what you're used to. Because right now with the Ace of Swords in reverse, things feel very unclear. There's not a whole lot of certainty in your environment right now, and that, again, it's a good thing. And you might be like, how is that a good thing? If we don't face our fear, if we don't face it head on, you literally have to make friends with it. You get to know it in such a way that it doesn't surprise you when it comes up and you go, oh, yeah, there it is again. That's my fear of failure. That's my fear of being alone for the rest of my life. Yep, that's my fear of not having what it is that I need in order to be safe. Whenever you make peace and friends with your fear, that fear can no longer control you. But if you let it consume you by believing everything you think and feel, it will continue to control you. So right now is a time to just be aware that if you're experiencing fear, doubt, insecurity, that's the devil on your shoulder, and it's going to be louder than that angel, which is kind of, in the way that I like to describe it, is like that intuition, that true kind of the truth, I guess, as opposed to the fear. All right. What else that was kind of a longer message, but I feel like it was really the epitome of this whole energy that you're in. Current energy for Taurus. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. One of the best ways that we create better in our life is focusing on being grateful for what remains, for what we currently have. And I feel like the reason this message is so important for you right now is you're needing to tap into a lot of patience. Obviously, these are the changes that you've been hoping for, right? You've been waiting for these changes. You've been wanting these changes that exist in your future for a really, really long time. And I feel like they are taking longer than you think, but I feel like a big part of that was because you were stuck in this situation, this place where you weren't being served. It was blocking your energy, it was blocking your abilities, your confidence, whatever the case might be. And it was taking up so much of your energy that this couldn't appear. So now that I feel you're moving away from this, these changes are kind of taking place, you're stepping into the unknown, you are now creating space to receive this, for this to come into play. But it's important that you know that it's gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's gonna happen step by step. So in the process of doing that, you want to try to come from a place of having a gratitude mindset as much as possible, which, it's when I talk about having a gratitude mindset, it's not ignoring the negative. It's deciding to direct the majority of your energy to the good. And when you do that, because what you give energy to is what you create more good in your life. Gratitude single-handedly saved my life. I can say that with 100% certainty. I was at, the lowest point of my life. I started writing in my gratitude journal. I started approaching my life from this perspective of, instead of being like, oh, I have to work out, or I have to do this, or I have to do that, it was like, oh, I get to work out. I get to grocery shop. I get to run these errands, And the more that I did that, the more that my life started to improve, because my mindset started to improve. So right now is a time, yes, you want to take action toward the things that you are desiring of, but you also want to stay grounded in being grateful for what you currently have. One of the biggest aspects of attracting the life that you deserve into your life is, or attracting the life that you deserve, is being grateful for where you're at and excited about where you're going. If you are waiting for some future version of your life to make you happy and to make you feel good enough and lovable and all those things, you will be waiting for forever. So you have to kind of learn to ground yourself in where you're at with gratitude and positive feelings and energies, so that you can create more of the good now, and that is going to create what you're looking for. I hope that makes sense, because I do feel there's a lot out of your control right now. And so one of the biggest things you can do whenever you're feeling very out of control is focus on what you can control and like what you do have that is going well. Current energy here for Taurus. Yeah, I see you're working through limiting beliefs. This is my favorite card in tarot. This is freeing yourself from the limitations in your mind that have kept you trapped in the same circumstances, relationships, jobs, financial situations that you've always been in, which requires embracing the unknown. Because when you embrace the unknown, you're going to be required to face the fears that kept you stuck in what is known and familiar, even though those things didn't serve you. So as you're experiencing this energy, the awareness of it is key. That's where the courage comes into play, because it's almost as if you want to step into this kind of phase of your life coming from this place of, what would my bravest self do? What would my most confident self do? What would the version of me that knows that I'm fully supported by the universe do? Because when you can make the decisions coming from that place, you are actively shifting your belief system. And that belief system starts to then show up into your reality as truth, because our life is and always will be a reflection of what we believe. So, what can Taurus expect moving forward? Changes with the Six of Wands here. Immediate future for Taurus. The Six of Pentacles, look at that. This is receiving, but it is all up to the decisions that you make in your current energy. Now, I don't want that to be taken from this place of, oh, I hope that I make the right decision. If I don't make the right decision, I'm not going to receive and I'm going to fail and I'm never going to have what it is that I desire. No. What this message is saying is you have the power to create this. You always have had the power to create this. It's just that sometimes we doubt that power, and that gets reflected back at us in terms of like lack and, not having what it is that we need. So what the universe is telling you through this reading, spirit, your higher self, God, spirit guides, whatever resonates with you, you can receive whatever it is that you want. Now, I'm not talking about something specific. I'm not talking about getting your ex back or making $1 million. I'm not necessarily talking about those things, but I'm talking about the love that you wish to feel, the financial freedom you wish to experience, the success that you've been wanting. Like, all of those things are very much possible for you, and you have the ability and the power to receive them. But what you need to understand is that it is within your power. How we show up for our life is the life that we create. And when we can show up, I kind of just said, like, showing up, what would your bravest self do? What would your most courageous self do? What would the version of you that believes that the universe has your back do? When we show up in that energy, we literally attract those changes into our life. Like, we tell the universe, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm confident, I'm deserving. And the universe says, yes, you are. And you always have been, but now you see it, you recognize it, so we can now reflect that back to you. And that's what this reading is about, is in your current energy, showing up for the life that you wish to create in the face of doubt. Not the absence of, but in spite of and in the face of doubt. And that's going to lead to these changes that you're wanting. Immediate future for Taurus. What can Taurus expect in their immediate future? The Nine of Cups. I mean, that's desires right there. Desires being fulfilled. It's almost as if you take the risk, if you trust yourself right now, right? I started this reading out with saying this is the time to trust yourself. If you trust yourself, it will pay off. Like, that's almost, it's what saying is guaranteed. This success that you're wanting, the changes that you desire, all of that is guaranteed. As long as you show up for it, as long as you choose it. And we choose it by allowing ourselves to go with the flow of accepting endings that needed to take place, moving into kind of new energies that allow us to make choices that choose what we desire as opposed to what we think we need out of fear. When we're making choices, I need this job because I'm afraid I'm not going to have an income. I need to stay in this relationship because I'm afraid that I'm not going to ever have anything better. When we make decisions from that place, you are actively letting fear run your life. But when you make decisions from a place of what can I choose out of the expectation of something good instead of the expectation of something bad, which might sound really naive, but what we, how we invest in our life is what we create, like 100%, hands down. We come from that place of faith, which is not just faith in something bigger than you. That is absolutely important, but that's a direct reflection of faith in yourself. You're going to believe that you're supported on the path to what you deserve if you believe you're deserving it. So it's not just faith in something bigger than you, which again is important, having faith in the universe, something, a spiritual connection of your own understanding, but it's also understanding that directly comes from your belief in yourself and what you're capable of and what you're deserving of and your purpose and all of the things that kind of come with that. All right, one more for Taurus's immediate future. What can Taurus expect moving forward? I mean, this is wish fulfillment, ships coming in. Immediate future for Taurus. What can Taurus expect moving forward? This all exists on the other side of your fear. Whatever you're trying to create exists on the other side of facing your fear head on. Facing that doubt in yourself, in your capability, in your deservingness, facing it head on, choosing to do it anyway, choosing to make the best decision for yourself anyway, and then look at that. Look at what that creates for you. Really, really wonderful, wonderful thing. So right now is a time to trust yourself, and then the changes that you've been waiting for are going to appear on the other side of that. All right, we're going to hop on over to the extended. In this reading, we answered what do you need to know right now. The extended is all about what you can do right now to ensure you're moving forward in alignment with your higher self. All of the information for that is in the description box below. Otherwise, thank you so much, Taurus, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Taurus, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Taurus.